What's good, friends? Christopher here with the Hope Easy Life, and it is a beautiful Monday. So I wanted to pop in and talk a little bit about service to others, service to your community, because that's something that I think is what is going to save the world. I think that by stepping outside of ourselves and doing good for others is how not only do we help the space between our ears, but it gives us purpose, it gives us a use, and ultimately it helps us brighten our corner of the world. And of course, if you multiply that out, the more of us who serve others, who brighten our corner of the world, well, guess what? The better this entire planet gets, which I think we could all agree would be a pretty wonderful thing. And there's an expression, many hands make light work. Obviously, if any one person tries to solve every problem and clean up every corner of the world, it'll never get done. But there's 8 billion of us on this planet, and we all share this planet. We're all neighbors. We're all brothers and sisters. And so by truly embracing the spirit of service, that's how we ultimately make this planet one that we all love to live on. And we all see the news. We all recognize the different tragedies that take place. We recognize the amount of folks that are on prescription medications for depression, anxiety, various other mental ailments. And we know the people that have been checking out, that have been succumbing to despair. Obviously, my brother fell victim to despair. I've personally lived in extreme periods of despair and have attempted to take my own life. There's countless folks that do this. There's even more folks when you total in all of the deaths of despair. So alcohol-related deaths and accidental overdoses. Because fundamentally, you need to be in a state of despair to die by alcohol or drug use in general. And so when we look at this world and we can identify all of these issues, all of these problems, it can seem absolutely overwhelming. Like, what could we possibly do? And so what I've done and what I encourage others to do, and others who found success in doing this, is to narrow that focus down. It's one of the problems with, kind of mainstream news is they bombard you with all of these major problems that are outside of your community. They're outside of your reach. And so it creates this tension within us because what can I do about a war overseas, right? That's a difficult thing for me to personally be able to do anything about. But in the community that I live, for example, we recently had a big storm that rolled through, and it did a tremendous amount of damage to people's property. It knocked down trees, it damaged cars, damaged houses, things like this. And so this past weekend, on Saturday, I was a part of a major citywide movement where we went out and we helped clean stuff up. We cleaned up alleyways, we cleaned up people's property, we did weeding and trimming trees, we picked up debris, we removed trash, we did all sorts of different stuff to just make our corner of the world just a little bit better, a little bit brighter. And I can tell you the reward that I had by getting sweaty, getting dirty, and working alongside some absolutely amazing people is beyond comparison. The gratitude of the homeowners that we helped was beyond comparison. Nothing in my life is as rewarding as that. Did I get any money out of it? No. Did I get any recognition out of it? No. Does any of that matter? No. What matters is those smiles on those faces, being able to look at the work that we accomplished in the 5-ish hours that we were out there doing it. And this is, again, this isn't me posting this to brag. This isn't me posting this to say, hey, look at me. This is me posting this to encourage you to do the same thing. And it doesn't have to be a crazy time commitment. What I personally think is a great way to do things, there's a lot of talk on social media about having a morning routine, right? But think beyond a morning routine and have a weekly routine. You may have a different day of the week that works for you, but Saturdays are the day that I've kind of set up for myself to be able to do service work. Sometimes it's only an hour. Maybe it's only 30 minutes of service work. Other times it's 5, 6, 7 hours of service work. It just kind of varies based on other things I have going on in my life, as well as the opportunities that exist within my area. But one of the sweet things about this world is we've got the internet. And there's all kinds of different websites, depending on where you live, that put together all sorts of service opportunities. And most of the organizations that are putting on these various opportunities, they recognize that people have busy lives. You have jobs and kids and all kinds of responsibilities. And so they're not really looking for this big major time commitment from you. A lot of them, they're just looking for maybe an hour of your time. And I think all of us could spend 1 hour per week helping other people, stepping outside of ourselves and serving our community. Because again, the more of us that do this, the better the entire world gets. So I don't want to go too long. I hope you're having a beautiful Monday. I hope you're setting your week up to be absolutely fantastic. I hope you're working on becoming the person that is capable of living your dream life. And as a reminder, my book that is going to really explain how to do this, how to walk you through from an A to Z standpoint, provide tools and a roadmap for your success to show you exactly how to do it and give you everything you need to do it, is coming out on October 28th. So I'll be obviously talking about that. I'll be posting a video. I'll be making an audio book and a paperback and a special edition copy for those that are looking to support me before the release. Because as I've mentioned before, I've been in a season of poverty, intentional in many regards, because I had to strip myself of the desire for material things. I like to tip people fat. I like to give money to every homeless person that I walk past. I like to donate to my church. I donate to my charity. And this has resulted in me having next to nothing, almost barely 2 pennies to rub together. And that has been a wonderful experience in my life. But I do, of course, have bills. And so pouring everything I have into serving other people has meant that I could possibly use a little bit of help. If you feel so inclined, I would certainly appreciate it to $HOPEZYLIFE. And if you want to see more, go over to the website listed in the description of all of my videos, hopezy.life. That's HOPEZY.LIFE. Anyway, I love you, I thank you, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Peace.